Now, time for our My 70s feature, and we welcome this week Chris Norman from Smokey. 1975, they released their debut album called Pass It Around, and they had hits with the likes of If You Think You Know How to Love Me, and the big one, Living Next Door to Alice, reached number 5 in 1976. Chris also went on to have hits outside of Smokey. He performed alongside Suzi Quatro on the 1978 song Stumbling In. And he began by reminiscing about the early Smokey days in the 1970s.
We started with obviously the UK, and we had our first hit in the UK, which was If You Think You Know How to Love Me, went to number 3 in the charts here. And sort of simultaneously we were going to places in Europe, and we were going to America, we were going to Australia, we were going all over the place. And we just followed the records around, you know, and we were doing tours all the time. We were always on tour. And it was very exciting because the 70s was the time for me, you know, when we started to be having success and really starting to become known, and things changed for us because we'd been a working band for like 7 years by then. And because the four of us had been known each other since we were teenagers, we were like brothers, you know. So it was great going around and seeing, we experienced it all together, like as a family. And it was really good. There was a band called Pilot, who people don't remember so much now, but they were very big, you know, in 1974. And they'd had like a couple of hits, January and It's Magic and stuff. And they were touring, and because of the fact we'd got the new album out, it was suggested that we go on tour as a support to Pilot because they were going to get a big audience. Unfortunately, they didn't really pull the crowds because they were more of a studio band than anything. They hadn't done it, you know, and we had. So we were going on and sort of doing what we'd normally do, and we had like a set going, and we knew how to work the audience and everything. And then they'd come on and just stand there and play like the Eagles or something, you know, which was a great band, but they had a big following. So it was a bit difficult, that tour. And then after that, we started to play, you know, doing our own concerts, and we did concerts all over the UK, and in places like Germany, we were bigger than we were here, so we were doing arena tours and stuff there. It was magic. Well, the first song that I've chosen is from ABBA, which is Take a Chance on Me. ABBA, you know, have become huge now. Everybody talks about ABBA, what a great band and everything, and they are, and they were a great band. But at the time, as everybody knows, it was kind of like, it was a secret if you had an ABBA album, you know. And I always loved them. I always thought they were fantastic, and the records they made, and the productions on the records, and the songs that the two guys wrote were great. This is one of my favourites because I like all that kind of harmony thing that they do with this Take a Chance, chicka chicka chance. I love all that stuff. And I remember it coming on the radio at the time and thinking, wow, this is a great production. I'm Chris Norman, and this is my 70s. I knew Suzi Quatro from RAC, because RAC Records was Mickey Mouse label, and we were signed to the same label. So we'd see her, you know, I'd see her around the record company, and, you know, we knew each other just to say hello, how you doing, and all that stuff. And when we were, I guess it was about 78, we were getting an award in Germany there was a magazine called Bravo, and we were getting the Gold Bravo Award. So we went off to do this, and there was all the pop stars of the day getting, you know, Bonnie Tyler and Leif Garrett and whoever, I remember those two people in particular, were on. And she was over there in Cologne, it was. She was making a new album with Mike Chapman, producer, who was also our producer. So they came along just to say hi, and then there was a party afterwards. And people were getting up and jamming. So we got up and sang, I think Long Tall Sally or something, me and Suzi. And then Mike Chapman, when we went and sat down again, he said, wow, you two look great together, you know, we should do something. So that was how we decided, you know, to do a song together. And I was in Smokey anyway, and she was doing her own album. So the week later, I went home, and the week later I came back and just brought my guitar and sat in with her band and put down the track, Stumbling In, and another song for the B-side. And I was there for like 2 days, just put the track down, sang the song, and went home. I went back and did my stuff with Smokey, she went and did her stuff, and the record just sort of looked after itself, you know. The next song that I've chosen is The Knack with My Sharona. This was sort of came out towards the back end of the 70s, I think 79 or something. We'd been around for a while doing our thing, and the punk thing was coming out, and there was a lot of punk. I was never really into some punk. I liked some of it, but not all of it, because it was kind of pushing us out. We were getting pushed away from that. But the Knack weren't really a punk group. They were more like a pop rock group, but they came in sort of under that banner, you know, that movement, if you like. But I thought they were great, and our producer at the time was Mike Chapman, and he produced this album, The Knack, Get the Knack, which was their album that this song came off. And he told me about The Knack, ages before, because he'd been to see him. And I went down to see him. I was in Los Angeles, and I saw them at, I forget what club it was, the Roxy or something on Sunset Boulevard. And they were just so exciting to see the sound they made and everything. It was just fantastic. And Mike Chapman said to me that he was going to try and record them and try and capture the sound that they made live, which was pretty difficult to do. And that's what he did. And if you listen to My Sharona, there's not a lot of overdubs, if any. It's so great, you know, that riff when it starts and everything, and the feel of the whole thing, and the sound of the record. So, I think it's one of the better songs from that sort of late 70s period. And, of course, it was played all over the place. And I still, if I hear it now, it gets me going, you know. I think that gets me foot going, you know. So I think it's just a great track.
My 70s. He's still making music. In fact, Chris Norman has a new album out. It's called There and Back. It's out now. You can find out more by going to chris-norman.co.uk. Hello to Charles Heathcote. Thanks for your email. Attached was a scan of...